Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Attadipa bhikkave viharata attasarana ananya sarana. Dhammadipa dhammasarana ananya saranati ti. Venerable brother, Dhamma friends, so we have selected the particular sutta in the Kanda Sangyukta, which is actually available in the connected discourses of the Buddha. That's why it is called Sangyukta Nikaya. And here particularly it is talking about the aggregates and some interesting aspects about the aggregates. So basically Buddha here first of all asking us to be an island unto ourselves and be a refuge unto ourselves. So basically, as we discussed yesterday even, sometimes we are not using the body as a refuge, rather we are sometimes even doing various bad things so that we ourselves get into the wrong direction, using the body and even using the speech, that's also related to the body. So how are we going to use the body so that we are developing some spiritual qualities so that we can even cross over, we can even become enlightened using the body. So that's a very interesting area that Buddha is highlighting. But typically what we do is we are using the body for entertainment and maybe for some bad things. Ultimately we ourselves and certainly others are getting into trouble. But here Buddha very much like emphasizing Attadipa bhikkave viharata. Attasarana ananya sarana. Buddha say, okay, you got to dwell keeping yourself as an island, as a refuge, and there is no other refuge. And similarly, keeping Dhamma as a refuge and Dhamma as an island. As we discussed yesterday, the same statement was made at certainly some difficult situations, like we discussed, like when Venerable Sariputta has passed away. So Buddha giving the same instructions to Venerable Ananda, who was shocked by hearing that news. But the same instruction was given. And how one is going to be an island unto oneself, how one is going to be a refuge to unto oneself, that is by developing the 4 foundations of mindfulness. As you know, when you are walking, it is the body actually the walking, but we are trying to maintain some attention, some mindfulness towards the body. And when we are sitting, it is the body that is breathing, so we are keeping our attention to the breathing. Or rising and falling, that's also a bodily phenomena. So we are observing the body, but from a different angle. It is not for entertainment, it is not for any kind of, gratification. Rather, we are trying to understand what's really going on. Now, if we further look into the first foundation, Kayanupassana, so Buddha actually comes up with a kind of a recipe there. So if you see, postures, so as you all know, so we are maintaining different bodily postures. Sometimes sitting, sometimes standing, sometimes walking, sometimes lying down. So those are the main 4 postures. But typically when the body is being maintaining all those postures, our mind is not there. Mind may be thinking something else. But one possibility is even using the mind to recognize this sitting posture, standing posture, walking posture, or lying down posture. So then you will understand, okay, I can even ground myself. Rather than allowing the mind to simply wander while the body is sitting, rather than allowing the mind to wander while the body is standing or lying down, so how about keeping the mind also well connected to the body? So that is the very essential part at first highlighted in the Kayanupassana. Ajjattameva chittang santitthati sannisidati ekodi hoti samadhiyati. So internally, now the mind is well established. Very much like you are keeping a very good place, a chair inside the body and inviting the mind to come and rest. Like now you all are sitting on a cushion, on a chair, fairly resting, on the cushion, on the chair, the body is resting. How about your mind coming and resting on the body, in the body? Same thing. You are resting on the chair, you are resting on the body is resting on the chair, the body is resting on the cushion. Similarly, mind, we are going to invite, okay, come and rest in the body. Something like that. So that's why we have to be little careful how we are approaching the meditation. First of all, we need to maintain a very good posture, a very comfortable posture, so that we can actually invite the mind. Okay, come, stay here. It's comfortable. And more and more we associate the body, more and more we associate all different kind of postures. Probably you will understand, okay, when sitting posture ends, probably standing posture starts. When standing posture ends, again the sitting posture starts. When sitting posture ends, probably the lying down posture starts. Lying down posture ends, again sitting posture starts. Again sitting posture ends and maybe standing posture starts. And it ends when you start walking posture. Now that also has, in a way, little gross way, some kind of a starting and an end. Beginning and an end. But once you are more familiar with different bodily postures and you are more and more associating the body, so very much like always you are well grounded. So that's why sometimes nowadays in clinical psychology it is mentioned as kind of proprioceptive awareness. So about the location of your body, the position of your body, the how the body being sort of placed in this three coordinate system, the three-dimensional system, and there you are very much have an idea about it. You are not completely drifted away. Rather you are well aware what's really going on in the body and you know exactly where it is. So that kind of a grounding. And these things are actually being used, not merely theoretical, but being used. Even in a troublesome time. Say for example, assume that someone went through kind of a stroke. So one instruction given by the cardiologist is to ground yourself first, establish mindfulness. Probably, possibly, try to look at the breath. Establish mindfulness on breathing and look at few breaths. Then you start grounding yourself, calming down yourself, relaxing yourself, not making any panic, not get stressed up, calm down, relax. How? By establishing mindfulness to the body. In deep troubled times. So in deep troubled times, if you become really, panic, completely distracted, then you don't know even what to do. Completely confused. But on the other hand, if you are able to establish mindfulness within the body, on such occasion, okay, you are well grounded. At least your mind becomes somewhat calm, relaxed. Then you can take a proper decision. Therefore, Buddha, as an advantage of the mindfulness practice with respect to the body, Buddha mentioned one advantage as bhaya bherava saho hoti. That means whatever the arisen fears can be overcome by placing attention to the body. Because then you know, okay, I am living. Still the things are going on well, okay, I am not dead yet. Maybe I can take a proper decision. What is the best decision I have to take? So in order to take a best decision, you have to have a calm mind. Otherwise with a confused mind, stressed mind, you can't take the correct decision. But once you are grounded, once you have established mindfulness, there is a possibility that you can take a better solution, better decision. And on the other hand, Buddha mentioned arati rati saho hoti. That means sometimes we feel lethargic or not having enough energy to do anything even. Say you don't feel like getting up from the bed. You feel completely drowned, completely down, not having energy to do anything. So that is where we come up with arati, what we call kind of disgusted type of feeling. So Buddha mentioned when you are practicing Kayagata Sati, you can overcome that. You feel energetic, you feel sort of coming back home, always grounded, feeling energetic. So that has another advantage Buddha mentioned in the Kayagata Sati practice. Here basically still about the establishment of mindfulness. Another advantage is that you can bear some severe pains even. Kamo hoti, sitassa unhassa. So likewise Buddha explained many situations. The cold situation you can still bear. Little bit hot weather you can still bear. Maybe little thirst you can bear. Hunger you can bear. Maybe some bodily sickness, pain, still you can bear. So that's such kind of a little forbearance or patience can be developed by practicing Kayagata Sati. So still we are talking about the first Kayanupassana, the Kayagata Sati. All are related to the body. So it is not that you are waiting till you become sick to practice. Rather, when you are not sick, when you are doing really well, you start the practice. And once you get into some troubled situation, still you are able to maintain that. So that's another interesting phenomena. What happens usually is when we particularly become sick, ill, so other than the bodily sickness, we are adding another mental sickness, mentally restlessness into that picture. So the situation become more aggravate. Situation become more troublesome because you yourself suffering mentally because you are not knowing how to handle the situation. You don't know how to maintain the mind away from the body or little detached from the body. You are making a self, making someone, and always, pleading, why it's happened to me, why poor me. Like that you are making a self out of the situation, and that aggravates the situation. Suppose you are being diagnosed by some terminal disease. So you immediately create a self. So I comes out, why it happened to me. Now I am going to die. I am in trouble. So I am is there. I is there. So the body belongs to you or I am the body, as we discussed yesterday. So we are identifying with the body. So immediately the Sakkaya Ditthi comes up. Immediately the personality view comes up. I immediately immersed in the body and my body. Rather than telling even my body, I am going to die. I am going to sick. I am going to these situations. So immediately I am looking at the situation with a personality view. So then I am going to suffer. Because this something belong to me, or this is exactly me, and this is going to die. I am going to die. How can I overcome that? So you are in a kind of a frightened situation. But assume that you are developing Anapanasati, even a very simple technique. How are you developing Anapanasati? Are you trying to control the breathing according to your wish? Or what is the approach? You simply allow the body to breathe as it like. And you have to have an attitude, whatever the way the body breathes, I am simply observing. I am not going to change anything at all. If it is breathing longer, let it breathe longer. If it is breathing shorter, let it breathe shorter. If it is breathing shallow, let it breathe shallow. Doesn't matter. I am ready to accept. So you have a kind of a radical acceptance. So the body breathes whatever the way it likes, and I am simply a unbiased, non-interfering observer. So you are learning kind of a technique, kind of an art, how to allow a kind of an experience to go away, or rather go through, and you being an observer, rather than interfering and manipulating and controlling the situation, controlling the experience, now you step back and watch it. You take the back seat, rather than you always try to drive. So let's take the back seat. Watch what's really going on. So that kind of an attitude throughout the Satipatthana being built. Same situation in the feelings also. Actually, I didn't want to touch that this time. Same thing in the feelings also. Maybe a painful feeling is going through in the body. So how about step back and watching it as someone else's feeling? So this attitude is extremely important. Even at the Four Noble Truths, Buddha emphasized this. Idang dukkhang ariya satchang. Idang dukkhang ariya satchang does not mean I am suffering. Rather it is there is suffering. There is suffering. It's kind of non-personal, impersonal kind of suffering. It doesn't belong to you. Suffering is suffering. Due to various causes and conditions, suffering is there. Some unsatisfaction is there. Some pain is there. Some feelings are there. Some bodily phenomena, evolution, this and that are there. But it doesn't belong to you. It is something, belongs to the nature, we can say. It happens because of various causes and conditions. So you are looking at from a different angle now. But that doesn't really mean much if you are simply theoretically trying to understand that. You can understand that way, even when I am telling now, you can understand, but the way you are looking at the things when you are practically going through is quite different. So that's why, teaching is possible, explaining is possible, but practice is up to you. So that's why by going through the practice, only you can train the mind. Typically, we have an untrained mind. So the mind is somewhat habituated so that we are looking at things as kind of a person. So this body as a person, body as myself, or this body belongs to me. So, or I am in the body, or I have a body. I have a relationship with the body. This is my body. So this is the way that we typically think. So when we are going through a sickness, or when we are going through some troublesome time, so we always put ourselves into it. Now you are having doubled suffering. Self-created suffering is also attached, and you are suffering 2 times. Now, that's why Buddha mentioned here in this Attadipa Sutta that when you take this body as a self, when you take this body belongs to you, or when you think that this is I am, or I am inside the body, whatever the way that there is a personality view being developed, but unfortunately the body becomes sick, unfortunately the body is now aging, unfortunately the body is going to die, so you are going to suffer. Tassa tang rupang viparinamati, tassa tang rupang viparinamati, anyata hoti, tassa tang rupang viparinama anyata bhava uppajjati soka parideva dukkha domanasupayasa. That means once you start possessing the body, or you are identifying with the body, thinking you are in the body, whatever the way, the personality view is there, I is there, I making is there, but unfortunately the body is not agreeable to your way of thinking. It doesn't care of what you are thinking. It is going through its own way of evolution, aging, dying, getting to sick, but you as a person going to suffer. So what's the solution? Now, solution lies with the development of the wisdom, we can say, development of the Vipassana. So now Buddha discuss various ways how we are going to address this issue. Say, one thing as I mentioned is grounding yourself, just establishing mindfulness within the body, but not yet some insights are there, but at least grounding yourself and being with the body. And now you are knowing what's really going on in the body. And say, now you are looking at how breathing happens. Okay, now breathing happens. It is not I am breathing, but breathing happens as a separate phenomena, as a kind of a process. It's a bodily process. Rather than I am breathing, now it is, the way you are looking at is completely changed now. So you allow the body to breathe naturally. Don't go to interfere. Don't try to manipulate breathing. Allow the body to breathe. So you are looking at it. So you now have a separate body like. So you are being away from the body, external to the body, and you are watching the body. So kind of a slowly, we are sort of training the mind to look at from that angle. So theoretically we can understand, all can understand, but mind always look at it as a person, as my body, as I am. So again and again, when we are training the mind to each and every breath, okay, this is merely a breath, a bodily breathing, natural breathing. It's arising, changing, passing away, arising, changing, passing away, even breathing. You are not going to interfere. So breathing depends on various causes. You are not going to control them. Allow it to happen. So you take the back seat. Now, if you look at, say, 32 parts, that's another area that you can actually sort of break the compactness. So one important barrier is that we take the whole body as one thing. So we forget that this is a combination of so many components. It's an assemble of so many components we forget. Continuously, again and again we forget it. So the 32 parts, rather than simply using it to, develop the loathsomeness, Pidikul Bhavana, Asubha Bhavana, you can even look at it from, the compactness, to break the compactness. So looking at various body parts, head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, blood, vessels, urine, pus, maybe skeleton, many parts are there. As we discussed yesterday, so when various parts are combined together in a particular way, in a particular fashion, in a particular style, so we can call it as a car. We can call it as a motorbike. We can call it as a three-wheeler. We can call it as a van. We can call it as a train. So those names are not the real thing. But really we can say, okay, it's a combination of small components, parts together, assembled together, and we have simply given a name to distinctly recognize them so that we can communicate among ourselves. Similarly, these bodies are also consisted of so many little parts working together in harmony. Then we can say we are healthy. But if there is any kind of a disharmony, not feeling well. That's why in the Ayurvedic terms, the three humors, vapitsem. So when there is a little bit of mismatch, then there is a trouble. Sannipatika abada. What's that? Semma samuttana abada, vata samuttana abada, then vapitsem, vata samuttana abada, sannipatika abada. So the airborne diseases, bile-borne diseases, phlegm-borne diseases, or kind of a combination of all borne diseases. So is it under your control? You have to try, by the way. Try to maintain a balance. So don't eat too much heaty food, then something go balance. If you eat all cold food, again system go imbalance. Very difficult system, by the way. Very difficult. Now I myself is now trying to find the balance. Very difficult. In Hana Dasaka, from 50 to 60, very difficult. I am now trying to adjust how to balance this, how to balance that. Very difficult. So we are learning about the body. But when we are youth, we don't need to learn about the body. We want to have fun using the body. But now we know we need to find out how this body has to be properly maintained. Otherwise, we can't use the car for a long time. You can't change the parts like we change the parts in the car, automobile. But it's pretty difficult. And that the replacement has to do without switching off the system. That's the main challenge. So now when we are looking at recognizing 32 parts, various bodily components, bodily parts are there. So slowly the perspective change. Oh, this is a combination of different parts. It's not a unit. It's not a compact something, one thing. Rather, it consists of many parts. So which part is I? Which part? Which part would you like to say I? Which part would you like to say belong to me? Head, hair? Once you go through some chemotherapy, head, hair is lost. What are we going to do now? So you can obviously understand, none of these parts we can say as myself. But when all are connected together in a particular proper way, when they are functioning together, I can simply say, oh, I am here. This body is mine, or I am the body. This is how we simply call it. But when we little analyze it, we can say, okay, these are different bodily components, bodily parts. None of them I can say as me or myself. Obvious things. When you can understand when I am telling, but how we operate, quite different. That's why it's as a training, as a mind training, that we have to do it again and again, 1001 times. Again and again training the mind. Okay, this is head hair, this is body hair, this is lungs, this is kidneys, blah blah blah, all these different components. So as you are looking at, when you are practicing 32 parts like that, so mind starts learning. There is no self here, there is no person here, but a combination of bodily parts. It's an assemble of bodily parts. Now you have another little advanced view rather than the previous personality view. Rather than simply taking that body as a self, now you can at least say, okay, body consists of many body parts. That is one area. But deeply, if you want to go even further, then Dhatu Manasikara, elements meditation, would be another very interesting area where you are going even to the very fundamental levels, primordial levels. Say when the body is walking, so you are trying to recognize what are the movements going on, what are the sensations going on, what are the characteristics available. And once in order to know these characteristics, you don't even need a language. So direct, so primary. You are coming to the very ground level, very basic level, fundamental level. Say for example, you all are now sitting, and you can see certain pressure is being felt to your buttocks. Some pressure. If you simply close your eyes and pay attention, you can recognize it. Some weight is there, some pressure is there. It is there. So you can know that. You can directly know that. You don't need to open a book to know that. You don't need to think about it. Rather, you can know that, directly know that. So like that very primordial, very fundamental knowledge, now we are trying to touch in the elements meditation. And we need to learn that, by the way. Because what happens is, based on those primordial, basic kind of characteristics, we build up many concepts. And we always think using concepts. Always thinking using concepts. Ultimately, we being lost in concepts, forgetting about the fundamentals. So the elements meditation help us to give up, or say untangle all the concepts, remove the concepts, and again grounding yourself and touching the fundamentals, recognizing the elements characteristics. So as the earth element, so you can understand the very fundamental characteristics: hardness, softness, roughness, smoothness, heaviness, lightness. So these are the fundamental characteristics. Then the air element, maybe the movements, vibrations, so the fundamental characteristics. Then the water element, the fluidity, the cohesion, so those are the fundamental characteristics. And then the heat element, cold, hot, cold, are the fundamental characteristics. And you are trying to recognize these fundamental characteristics using the body. Now, once you are trying to recognize that and keep on looking at them slowly, your mind starts recognizing them, mind starts observing them, and then probably you get an insight, other than these fundamental characteristics, where is the person? Where am I? So basically, say for example, for 1 hour, you are practicing elements meditation, observing various bodily elements, hardness, softness, again say heat and cold, hardness, softness, fluidity, all that different characteristics again and again comes out, and you are being aware of each and every such characteristics internally, and maybe at a moment your mind become very silent, but very carefully observing all that happening within the body. And one moment probably your mind itself may question, where are you? Where am I? Which part is mine? So the perspective, the view, completely different now what you are going through. So as you know, that's a very interesting simile that Buddha has given, like a butcher, when he is killing a cow, so you have the perception about an animal. But once he remove the skin, dissect and cut into pieces and sell, then you have the perception as meat or flesh, whatever. And completely the perception has changed. So similarly Buddha mentioned, so at the beginning we have the perception like I am here, I am a person, I am a man, I am a woman, I am meditating. So the personality view is there. This body is me, or body is myself. This body belongs to me, or I am inside the body. Whatever that personality view is there. You are recognizing with the body or identifying with the body. But as you are continuing Kayanupassana, slowly, particularly about the elements meditation, so you are developing certain insights time to time. Actually, we can say you forget to create a self. It is not an existing self, rather it's a mind-made self. So when you are looking at the body thoroughly using the way, proper way, then you are not making a self, you are not creating a self for 1 hour, for example. And at that moment you feel lighter, calmer, no stress. You are simply watching various bodily phenomena, various bodily processes, things are going on, and you are simply watching it. As an outsider, as an unbiased observer, you are simply watching it. So are you the watching it? Is the observer you? That's another trap. Now assume that the body is not you. Fine. Who is the one knowing that? Could be myself. So that's another part we'll look into in the other aggregates. But for the time being, we are simply emphasizing about the body. So when we are going through the analysis of these body parts, or observing various bodily phenomena, or observing various elements, so there you will understand slowly, there is no self here, there is no person here. Or probably even before that you can understand all these elements are changing. Again and again changing. You have no control at all. And they are completely tortured by this changing process. You have no control at all. Completely this, say, even if you consider elements, even if you consider earth element, changing. Even if you consider water element, still it's changing. So likewise, slowly you will understand it's a completely vulnerable system. You have almost no control. So you are looking at, as an outsider, how things are going on. Now, the interesting thing is, the more you understand, so more you become detached, because you understand that's beyond my control. So, very interesting simile Buddha is giving, like I think I already has mentioned about it. Think about a blind person who was born blind. And he heard that about a very beautiful and auspicious kind of a cloth. In those days, Buddha say, okay, white cloth is considered as the most auspicious type of cloth. And this fellow also wants to buy a auspicious, very beautiful white cloth. And now he approached one seller and he's telling, okay, I want to buy this kind of a cloth. Now this seller is a cunning person. So he understood, okay, this guy can't see anything at all. So he found something which he couldn't sell for a long time. And it was with some dust and, with some all that dirty stuff. And he somehow convinced the blind fellow, okay, this is the best one. So because of you, I am giving it to this price. Otherwise, I won't even give it to this price. The all marketing. So he put all the marketing. And he appreciated really about the whiteness and the auspiciousness and everything available in this cloth. And he is selling it. Now he is wearing, the blind person is wearing it. And he assumes this is the best cloth. And now he attended the ceremony, he attended the wedding, he attended the homecoming, maybe pre-shooting, I don't know. Whatever it is. So he is wearing it because that's the best cloth he has. Now, after some time, now this become his best cloth, best selection. After some time, by the way, his friends and parents, they take him to an eye surgeon. So after eye surgeon observed him, so he understood, okay, I can cure him. So he put all different, techniques. And he's a good eye surgeon, by the way. So he somehow cured him totally. Now he can see. What can he see? Now he can even see the cloth. Is he happy about the cloth now? Now he is not happy about the cloth, and even he want to take revenge from that seller. Buddha mentioned even that. Even he want to kill that seller. How long that I am being cheated. How long that I am being cheated by that cunning fellow. This is just a rubbish, garbage I was wearing all this time. Simply take it away. Put it aside. Not necessary someone is to tell him to keep it aside, but he himself understood, kept it aside. Simple as that. Similarly, Buddha mentioned, once we know that this body is beyond my control, completely inconstant, completely arising and passing away beyond my control, no point of holding it as myself, no point of holding it as me, belongs to me. Rather, how about keeping the mind away from the body, not grasping the body, detached from the body? Theoretically, you can understand, true, but the training is needed for the mind to do it. So that's why the training is extremely important. Mere reading, mere listening, I don't think it's going to, it's also helpful definitely to convince you, but the practice is the important thing. The more you again and again look at these phenomena, how things are rising and passing, how things are changing. And there what you need is the mindfulness, fair amount of concentration, and maintaining proper balance of the effort. Again and again watching these different phenomena, as we just discussed. And more you observe like that, at one moment, you may understand, okay, now it is changing, now you are sick. But not happy, not unhappy. Say for example, you went through some trouble, so body become sick. But you already have seen, body doesn't belong to me. It doesn't agree to my view, doesn't agree to my wish, doesn't agree to my expectations. It's continuing with its aging process, continuing its decaying process, dying process. I have no control. You have seen it now through your own direct knowledge. So that's the important thing, not merely by superficial understanding, but through your own direct knowledge, you have seen within the body how things are changing. Extremely rapidly things are changing. Now Buddha mentioned like this in the practice part, Rupasatveva bhikkhave anicchataṃ viditva viparinama viraga nirodhaṃ pubbe cheva rupang echarahita sabbang rupang aniccaṃ dukkhaṃ viparinama dhammanti evametaṃ yathabhutaṃ sammappaññāya passatu. Now this is not single time. I mean, many times you have seen, practiced for a long time, again and again seen the reality, again and again seen the reality. Through mindfulness, through concentration, with proper balanced effort, again and again seen the reality. Very much like you are educating a child. You are allowing it to, see it properly again and again. And then child learns. Not because you are trying to pour things, feed things, rather you allow him to become mature by seeing it, experientially seeing it. Panyaya disva disva pahatabba. Knowing things again and again through the wisdom. So that's why, as we discuss even in the afternoon, so samatha practice prepare the element, the apparatus. So you have mindfulness so that you are not drifted to the past or the future. You can maintain your attention in the present moment. Similarly, the mind is well focused. When it is necessary, you can observe a particular phenomena precisely. And you can maintain that precision for a longer period of time. Concentration. So when it is there, you can see it for yourself. What's the reality? It is not because that Buddha mentioned, rather that is the true nature of the things. That's why those are the universal characteristics. That's why Buddha here mentioned, Aniccan dukkhaṃ viparināma dhammanti evametang yathābhūtaṃ sammappaññāya passato. Now he is seeing again and again. You are practicing yesterday, you practice today, you practice tomorrow. You are seeing the true nature of all these different bodily phenomena. How they are arising, how they are changing, how they are passing away. So that develops wisdom slowly in the mind. Suppose that when you are developing this wisdom within your mind, so there are certain behavioral changes happening in the mind as well. So don't think that this practice is merely restricted to the sitting practice. Rather, when the practice is developing, slowly, that you have a different way of looking at things. So basically you are practicing cross-legged, eyes gently closed, paying enough attention to different bodily phenomena, you are doing that. But interestingly, how you are looking at the world is now slowly changing. How you are operating within the world is also going to change. So that's the interesting part. So the Vipassana practice, even if it is still we are talking about the body, has made a significant impact to the way of looking at things. The perspective about the world, perspective about different, previously how we were doing things. So now you are slowly becoming a completely different person in a way. The approach is different now. How you are looking at things become different. Not that you have influenced yourself. No, it is not that you are forcing yourself to change. What you do is simply allowing the mind to learn. Allowing the mind to simply watch what's the reality. So that has made a kind of I would say kind of a subconscious level change. So that how you are manifesting, how you are operating in the society can become somewhat different. You become a different person now. So as you are going through this practice, so that's why Buddha mentioned, so the grasping become less and less. Previously, suppose that you are a person really concerned about the beauty of the body. Frequently going in front of the mirror. Always carrying a little mirror. Always carrying the makeup set. I don't want to explain this, no? So always carrying whatever necessary. Now maybe you don't need to really show the others that you have changed, by the way. But internally, you have changed. It's even though I am, beautifying the body, I know, that it is something like this. Even something happen, you are not being shocked. Even when you see grey hair, you are not being shocked. Even if a tooth fallen, not being shocked. Like that. So assume that you are continuing the practice And later, all of a sudden, suppose that you are in the sitting session, you are watching various bodily phenomena arising and passing away, you come to a complete blankness. Didn't notice it even. But next day also, practicing again and going through the proper practice, and you feel it little detached, again become kind of a blank. Next time also it happened, and you feel little jerk. What's happening there? Next time also, if you properly practice, again it happens. Now you want to talk. I want to know what's really going on. So this is the point that you start noticing that event, that incident. Okay, there is something going on. Things are, gathering the momentum. At one moment, I lose the orientation. But fully aware, but little kind of different kind of an experience. So far, I haven't had such kind of an experience. But all of a sudden, I feel losing the orientation. So typically, we feel that I am here according to the dimensions. We can simply say the coordinates. So I am here with the location wise, you can know, okay, I am here. I am here at Kalalgoda, and this is the longitude, this is the latitude, blah blah, all these things are there, so you know the location. Time wise also, that means previously the space wise, now even the time wise, you know exact time, everything's there, so you feel comfortable. I am really doing well. I am there, I am safe. But when you are going through the practice, at one moment you might lose the orientation of the space. You may lose the orientation of the time. Then might feel frightened. That's one possibility. Because the time is lost, time orientation is lost, temporal aspect is lost, space aspect is also lost. There could be a little jerk. But interesting thing is, if we are properly practicing, the same result is repeatable. That's why it is so scientific. So if you are practicing it well, the same results appear again and again. Now let's come to the teaching. Eometang yathabhutang sammappanyaya passato ye soka parideva dukkha domanassa upayasa te pahiyanti. So Buddha mentioned, so whatever the sorrows, whatever the lamentations, whatever despair, all that being dispelled, abandoned, tesam pahana na paritassati. And once they are abandoned, there is no agitation. So mind starts experiencing some kind of a calmness. Even though you see arising and passing away of bodily phenomena, you feel happy. Now previously, suppose that body is going through some sickness and you feel unhappy, isn't it? When you experience neck pain, you feel unhappy. When you experience back pain, you feel unhappy. When you experience whatever the bodily pain, you feel unhappy. But now, more than that, now various bodily phenomena quickly passing away, kind of disintegrating. You are quietly watching. But interesting thing is, yogi can even become happy. Kind of a inhuman kind of happiness. You are seeing thoroughly how things are going on, but you feel comfortable. You are not being, shocked by seeing it, but you feel happy because there is no person. We are unhappy because there is a person. I am getting a neck pain. I have a back pain. I have a stomach pain. So I am unhappy. But when the practice is thoroughly, properly going through, you are properly mindful, properly maintaining enough effort, virya, and you are observing, but the phenomena are arising and passing away. Is this phenomena you? Is this phenomena me? Is it phenomena myself? It's a mere phenomena. So you see someone else's phenomena. Are you unhappy? You see someone is dying. not someone related to you. Someone is dying. Say some completely different person. Say a doctor who is in charge of the ward. Now he sees one patient is dying. Is the doctor crying? Not necessarily, right? Because the death is something normal, understood, accepted. Similarly, so when we are going through the practice, you may see things are arising and passing away very quickly, very rapidly. You can see it properly, thoroughly. Continuously it's happening, by the way. But interestingly, now Buddha mentioned, there is no agitation, no paritassati. There is no agitation by seeing this. No agitation at all. Mind carefully, calmly watching how things are disintegrating. Tesam pahana na paritassati. Aparitassang sukhang viharati. So without agitation, you are living in a more harmonious way. Seeing things how they are arising and passing away, you are in a very harmonious way. You are living comfortably. But the body is disintegrating. Bodily phenomena are arising and passing away, but you are in a more calm, relaxed attitude, watching them. Sukha viharam bhikkhu tadanga nibbutoti uchati. Now you are living more comfortable, and even more comfortable when mind has let go the body. So you have developed certain amount of wisdom. To the amount of wisdom, mind has let go of the body, and assume now fair amount of wisdom has grown to the amount that body has completely let go of. And now the mind become freed from the body. No attachment to the body, no relationship to the body, no association to the body, and mind become independent like. That is where the kind of a disoriented feeling going to happen. Previously you have the orientation because you are attached to the body, hold in the body, body is you, body is located here, and you feel comfortable. You feel safe. But now, body is completely disintegrated and mind become, like floating. So where am I? So if you come up with that personality view, you feel frightened. If there is no person, no problem at all. So who is hindering the path? So till you are there, you are hindering the path. Till person is there, till personality view is there, the path is hindered. But if you are able to let go everything, whatever happened, let it happen, kammo go chikako, just jump. Let it happen. Something like that. So yeah, let the process to gather the momentum, gather the momentum and let the body disappear, disintegrate, and you are simply watching. You don't mind about it, not agitating. You are, maintain some brave heart. Let it happen. It's happen, no orientation, be quiet, just be. Don't do anything. Just be. Most difficult part. Just be. When things are being let go of, nothing to attach, nothing to hold, not frightened, just be. This is a very, very important position. Tadanga nibbutoti uchati. So this is the place that Buddha highlights here, where to the amount of wisdom that we have grown, to that amount you are feeling happy and you feel freedom, independence, not attached with the body now. But unfortunately, since we are immature about the situation, we can attach to the feelings, we can attach to perceptions, we can attach to thoughts. So that is the problem. So that's why we have to go through some further practice. But otherwise, the freedom is possible, even at the Kayanupassana level. I am not telling it's a complete freedom, but temporary freedom. Tadanga nibbutoti means to the amount of the amount of the wisdom that we have grown, to the amount of the insights that we have grown through the insight practice, through the Vipassana practice, to that amount the freedom is available. If you have the fair amount of insight, fairly strong wisdom, to the amount that the body is completely let go of, then you have complete freedom. There's a very interesting statement by Ajahn Chah. He simply say, if you let go a little, you have little happiness. If you let go half, you have half happiness. If you let go totally, you have total happiness. Simple as that. Can you? Very interesting, very challenging, and it's a very interesting task. Kind of a fun-like task. So you need some kind of a brave movement. Let me try it again. So, most venerable Matara Jnanarama Thero used to say, "Ona gini angurak vechche, mam paina ekata." Ona gini angurak vechchade. Gini angura means whatever the charcoal. That's a old kind of way of telling it. Ona gini angurak vechchade. That's why the different today's terms. That's why I said, "Kammogo Chicago, just jump." So we have to have that kind of a attitude, okay? Otherwise, again you return back. So we need some sort of a brave heart to jump through. The practice is working, by the way. Practice will push you up, but don't jump back. Be in the up. So once the momentum is gathered, don't keep the plane on the runaway. Please take it off. Be on the air, don't immediately come back. Then you will be crashed. Okay, with that note, I like to conclude today's Dhamma sermon. Thank you very much for attentive listening. So today we have sharing of merits after the end of the Dhamma sermon. Offering of merit for Dawal Dana. The dana is offered by Lakshmi Liyanage and Shirani Rajapaksa, offering in memory of Chandra de Silva, Simon de Silva, Sita Rajapaksa, Aryavansa Rajapaksa, Raja Vanyarachi, Donald Liyanage, and all other family members, friends and pets who have passed away. May the merit accrued help them realize the Dhamma soon. May the merits from this dana also be shared with the members of the Mahasangha who have passed away, members of the armed forces who have passed away, all family members, friends and pets of those present here who have passed away. May all realize the Dhamma soon. It's difficult to read. May this merit also be shared with the Devas, and may they too realize the Dhamma soon. May the Devas protect us all and the Buddha Dhamma. May the merit be shared with the Mahasangha present here and all meditators. May we all realize the Dhamma soon. Okay, so all gathered here actually has practiced to the best of our ability, and we have participated in a Dhamma discussion and participated to a Dhamma sermon, listened to a Dhamma sermon, and some of you are participated in offering dana to the Sangha. So all these merits what we have accumulated, let these merits be shared with all the celestial beings, all the beings who are in need of merits, and again all the past relatives. And we wish these merits help us also to understand Buddha's teaching and to attain path, fruition, Nibbana. We'll recite the traditional verses. Ettavata amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. ආකාසට්ඨා ච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ශාසනං ආකාසට්ඨා ච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු දේශනං ආකාසට්ඨා ච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු මම් පරං ඉදං වෝ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදං වෝ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදං වෝ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බාන පත්තියා ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ ගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බාන පත්තියා ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බාන පත්තියා සාදු සාදු සාදු